Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Turbo and welcome back to Turbo's Nerdery. That's right, my Nerdery, and welcome back. Today I'm doing episode number two, not number 4, of the signature series of my signed stuff. Sticking with comics, I mostly have signed comics, so we'll mostly stick with that. Every once in a while we may deviate and do something a little different. But today we have comics again, just like episode 1. If you haven't watched episode 1, I recommend you do it. I showed some pretty cool signatures, some really awesome comics, because I wanted to start it off with a bang. And so last week I did Thor comics, or comics with Thor on the cover in honor of Thor, and they were all signed by different people, so I talked about the different stories. This week, not this week, I'm not doing this every week, clearly, but this episode I am talking about a single artist, and I actually have a single miniseries and then one special comic at the end to talk about. And I'll probably be going back and forth just because of the nature of my signed collection. I have a lot of stuff by a single artist. When I go to a Comic Con, sometimes I'll bring a stack of books, like I said before. A lot of artists and writers don't have long lines. They got plenty of time, and they'll sign as many books as you like. But today's artist had a long line, and he was only there for half a day at this Comic Con that I saw him at. And he actually stayed late. We were supposed to leave at noon, I think. I was towards the end of the line, and I saw him at about 12:15. So it was cool that he stayed late and finished off the people in the line. They cut off the line at a certain point, but then he stayed until he was done with all the people in the line, and that was very cool. Dedication to your fans. It's a big thing for me. Be the nicest guy in the world, but it's a big deal if you spend that extra time and make sure your fans aren't wasting their time. And then they'll buy more of your books. It's a good thing in the end for everybody. But it makes you really happy. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to show off the first of 5 in a mini-series, and they're signed by the artist. So this is issue number 1 of Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. And these covers are going to be tough, aren't they? Alright, that's not so bad. Okay, and this is signed by the pencilist, John Romita Jr. John Romita Jr. is a big-time artist, man. A lot of people know him. He's well known for being one of the creators of the character and comic Kick-Ass, along with Mark Millar, or Miller, however you say it. I like to say Millar, that's how it's spelled. I've heard people pronounce it both ways. But this miniseries in particular I took with me. Did I find these in my garage? I had a few of these, not in the garage, in the barn, that my parents managed to keep in the barn. But I went out and found the rest of them, because this was the miniseries back in the day that made me fall in love with Daredevil. Like I said, today we'll be showing off all 5 issues of the miniseries, so this is issue number 2. Great covers on these, by the way. And this is a miniseries that was written by Frank Miller. Here's the Junior. It was written by Frank Miller and illustrated by John Romita Jr. And it wasn't exactly the original story. It was more of a retelling of Daredevil's origin. But for a kid who didn't know Daredevil that well, I was younger, I was still getting into a lot of these characters and learning their stories. This is kind of an intense, kind of gritty, very Frank Miller intro to The Man Without Fear. Here's number 3. Signature really stands out on this one, up in the corner, the other corner, sorry. Like how the covers on this one, they were made in the early 90s, I think, or late 80s, so you have your fair share of chromium, but there's also some good coloration. There's a lot of balance. It's not so much in your face as some of those crazy covers from back in the day were. Alright, and here is issue number 4 with the signature here on the Kingpin, which is nice because it stands out. I like that. It's good when you can see the signature. I've got some black on some dark areas, and it's really hard to see actually what's going on with the signature. But these ones were great. John Romita knows right where to sign his comics. And alright, here's number 5. Going back and showcasing the original yellow suit. Signature again, up here in the white section. These were also good covers to have signed because they had a lot of dynamics between the dark and the black, the dark and the light, and there's a good place for black Sharpie, which is kind of important for getting a good signature on the book. One of the reasons I really love this miniseries, like I said, it really introduced me Daredevil, and it really covers all the concepts, all the basic important concepts of Daredevil. If you don't really know Daredevil, if you're not familiar with him, and you're into the gritty stories, if you like Frank Miller especially, I would definitely check out this miniseries. Alright, in every episode I will try to throw in kind of a special comic, either a special signature to me for some reason, or, with Thor I did the sketch cover. I don't have a sketch cover from John Romita, unfortunately. That would be awesome. I would really love that. But what I do have here is a copy of Captain America #1. Oh, it's so old. No, Captain America 1, this is from Marvel now, so they reboot all the time and you get different #1s. But this is the beginning of the Dimension Z story, where Captain America is trapped in Arnim Zola's dimension, and he adopts a son that he saves from Zola. Awesome storyline, by the way. 10-issue story, and it's incredible. It's action-packed, and it's just it kind of paints Steve Rogers in a new light, and the art by John Romita Jr. is fantastic. So, don't know if you've noticed yet, but here on the cover we have Jr.'s signature, 13, and also, you may remember this from last week, but Rick Remender, the writer of this, signed it. They both signed this in 2013. I don't know if I said it already, but John Romita Jr. I met at the Stanley's Kamikaze Expo in 2013. And that was, I think, the second year they had Stanley's Expo in LA. It was the first time I went. It was one of my earlier Comic-Cons. And they had a really great lineup of people. And it was really, like I said, it was an exciting dream of mine to meet John Romita Jr. He was a gracious guy, a lot of fun. Yeah, I would love to meet him at another con sometime. He was doing quick sketches for people. I would try to get in line earlier. Oftentimes I wait to get in these long lines. I don't want to spend the whole day in a line, so I'll sometimes chop down some of my to-do lists before I get in one of these longer lines. And I think I wasn't aware originally that he was only going to be there till noon. So I was lucky to get in and have him sign these awesome comics that, they meant to me a lot as a kid. And so now as an older person, they're a good nostalgic memory, piece of nostalgia for me. And so thanks to John Romita Jr., in case you're watching this, like he's watching this. And thank you guys for tuning in and watching this. Tune in and keep on watching. I'm going to be doing more of these episodes and more unboxings and more nerdy stuff here at Turbo's Nerdery. So until next time, share this with your friends, like the video and comment, tell me what you thought of this format. Did you think it was more dynamic and exciting to have a bunch of different signatures, or did you really appreciate the completeness of this cool little collection? Let me know. And until next time, be excellent to each other.
Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends, or you will suffer a flaming death by our robot overlords. Until next time, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.